tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. I hope you're having a great day. Stay positive, stay focused. Let's get to it. What is the hot topic that's going on YouTube or Instagram? Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Don't forget, the Cash App is Let's Talk About It Media. Thank you for all your love and support.
So don't forget to like, to comment, but be kind. And also turn on the notification bell. If you don't want to leave a comment, that's fine. You could always leave a thumbs up, a heart, a rose. Any positive interaction really helps the page. Let's get to it. Let's talk Kandi Burruss. Kandi Burruss says she will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They allowed us to sit around for a little too long. Then she sat and had a conversation with Jason Lee, Hollywood Unlocked. So it's almost like he broke the story. So I'm giving him credit. It's basically saying from Hollywood Unlocked, Kandi Burruss reveals she is not returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Good. What have we learned different? What's different? What's been the growth? How do people feel about? She has many, don't get me wrong, she has many accolades. She has her hands in many, many pots. But does she help, support, uplift the women? Or is this like, I'm going to help you and you need to continue to support me? I think because of her brand, it messed up a lot of things. Even when you look at her on different TV shows, she wants everybody to be okay with her lifestyle, and she wants everybody to be a part of that. If the show, just my opinion, I'm glad. Clapping about it. Thank you. It's about time. I think because of her brand, she wanted to attach her brand to a show. Now, let's be very clear. The Real Housewives of Atlanta isn't like other shows, and it's because of Kandi. She wanted to attach her brand. Bravo allowed it. And some of the women could have filed suits. Some of the women could have filed lawsuits against the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Bravo, because of what they experienced. You're not going to put something in my undergarment, hello, and have me buzzing. Okay? In regards to the Bachelorette issue, in regards to the swing issue, she wants us to understand what her lifestyle is. She wants everybody to be comfortable about it. I'm going to say this too. I just heard somebody talk about Bravo. Them working at Bravo, the experience they have at Bravo, and if they did not do what everybody else was doing, they said to them, you won't last long. You won't last long. You either join them or you're going to get fired. Either join us, you won't last long. Excuse me? A person has a right to stay within their beliefs and believe that a man and a woman is what's expected. A man should not have to feel like he has to join in with the other men being touched or groped or the conversation. And this is what he did say. I'll be general. He had said that if it was him saying what the other men together was saying, he would have got fired. If he would have said those same things to a woman. But Bravo was allowing men to say inappropriate stuff, men on men, the conversations, I'll just be general. But there's a problem over there at Bravo that's bigger than Kandi, but she's a part of it. And she wanted people to accept her and her brand stuff because then that gives her more money in her pocket. Other shows would never. And if there's lawsuits down the line, I would understand. I think if he wanted to do something and sue Bravo, he probably could. Because what he experienced, how he experienced, is almost very similar to what Christian Keys talked about. Very similar and sad. You shouldn't have to be on your job and feel like HR isn't there for you. You shouldn't have to be worried about not joining in on the conversation of an unacceptable conversation, being groped or being groomed, or join in, or you're not going to fit in, you're going to get fired. I think it's good. Now, the other thing, let me get to it. One, people were saying she brought the show down. She's not like Nene. And nobody expects her to be like Nene. But Nene is a straight up Kiki. Funny, lighthearted, supportive, but throw shade too. Different situations. Say for instance, if Nene had OLG or Blaze, would never have the same problem that Kandi had. If her customers felt that there should have been at OLG, customers were complaining about wait times. Customers were complaining about the lights going out. Customers were complaining about no air conditioning. Customers were complaining about the dishes being on the floor. Nene would never. Kandi and Nene are two different people. Nene's not perfect, but Kandi and Nene is two different people. The disrespect in regards to how the mom feels about her husband, the back and forth about that. How many years we're going to do that? In regards to how Todd was shading, saying, hey, I need a break. I want to be able to hang out with my guy friends. And she was like, well, you can hang out with your guy friends as long as you hang out with your guy friends with me. Making him feel that he has to be like a stay-at-home dad while she travels and takes on all these jobs. It's almost like she wants everything pointed at her, people to look at her, and I get it's a great thing for a woman. Don't get it twisted, because people try and twist people's words. It's a great thing for a woman to be a hustler and want to achieve a lot of things and to accomplish a lot of things. But don't push your narrative on people about what's acceptable or not for you to sell products. That's the biggest thing. I think that's where people have an issue with Kandi. The things that were happening at Real Housewives of Atlanta over the last 4 or 5 years was TMI. Too much. Not acceptable. Any other job with some of the things that was going on with Real Housewives of Atlanta, people would have been fired. The company would have been shut down. There would have been many, many lawsuits. There should be a union. People should be able to have insurance. They should be able to go to HR if there's problems, there's concerns. But Kandi knew Bravo had been shading her too. Bravo has been shading her. And she's been catching on to that. And then there's a lot of pages that says it's because of Kandi. Kandi don't really bring nothing. Kandi likes to shade other people. Kandi likes to go on her, speak on it. And then she paints the narrative as long as it's in her favor. So kudos to her for any other projects or other things she wants to get involved in. That's great. She's been very successful. And she has, I've heard this before, she has tried to help many women in the industry. And I wouldn't say that some of those people felt that she would help and then what can I get from you, or will you help me down the line? It's just helping them. Was it a good thing for them? Or helping, but then some women are very like, no, Kandi's very loving, she's kind, supportive, she don't make me feel less than. But what we see on the show, the restaurant OLG, if they knew she was coming in there, she should have great tables, no nasty dishes on the sink, no clogged sink, employees getting into it, being disrespectful, having disputes, being late. It was just so, not very professional. So there's two sides of her. Very professional, getting the bag. But then she has these businesses. And then people weren't sure if they were going to get biscuits or, you know what the saying is. But well wishes. Well wishes. We also was wondering in regards to how is it that Kandi is able to say whether Phaedra could come back or not. I was one of the ones that said, did she say, don't bring her back and I won't file a lawsuit? Is that what was going on behind the scenes? How is it that Phaedra was never able to come back and tell her side what transpired, but what transpired shouldn't have happened anyway. Have you ever seen the video in regards to Kandi and Portia talking? But then she made up with Portia, but she didn't make up with Phaedra. But it's like, how is Kandi always able to say, if Phaedra comes back, I'm leaving? Okay, bye. So the numbers were falling. It seemed extremely over, it just is what it was. I told y'all in regards to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you're not getting a divorce or your man's not cheating, problems with the law, financial problem, successful business, not a successful business, the shade, the drama. Kandi's had a lot of shows with Bravo, Real Housewives of Atlanta, that other people did not have. She's had way more opportunities. None of those shows stayed on. Now, they've been on a break all last year. Last year they had the last season, and then people were saying, okay, are they going to start, taping for 2004 or 2005? So she's saying she's done. Why didn't any of her shows make it? She had a skiing show with her family. She had the OLG. But then didn't she announce 4 or 5 months ago that OLG was supposed to come back? So is that supposed to come back and she don't want to come back on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Here nor there. She had Bravo, and there was something going on behind the scenes. Something going on behind the scenes. Just like with Portia's show. Didn't last. People didn't really want to hear about Simon. People didn't want to see Simon. And then Simon talking about, I got the moving company on speed dial. Excuse me, what? And then how Portia got with Simon. You know what I'm saying? You're at somebody's house, meeting the husband and wife, and then you break up a family, and everybody's supposed to be cool with it. So it's a mess. Well wishes. A lot of women don't want to do the high school stuff that Bravo does. Having these women pin each other against each other, the silly arguments. Some of the women have a hard time even finding a job after leaving the reality show. It's not good. All of us want to see these women painted in a good light, have successful businesses, have a successful show. Some people love, some bloggers, YouTubers love, the more drama, the better. The more ratchet, the better. Not me. Want to see people happy, at peace. Well wishes. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Let me know in the comments, are you happy Kandi's leaving? Are you surprised she's leaving? Does she cause it herself? Did she cause the last season to tank? Because she's not a Nene. And she doesn't confess to be a Nene. Well wishes. Thanks for tuning in. Everyone, have a great day.